Hey everybody, welcome to the Work in Progress Wednesday. It's Ash, and I'm sitting down today to show you guys how to make these things right here. The Legions Imperialis Token set suck significantly less, be way prettier, way nicer to use, and way easier with some simple materials. A 1-inch hole punch, some 1-inch bottle cap stickers, and some scissors. And I'm gonna watch Ghost Ship while I do it. Or as some people call it, the modern day early 2000s version of Event Horizon, that person being Jay. So yeah, the idea here is these tokens, when we actually ended up playing with them, I got my hands on another set. They're a bit flimsy, they're hard to flip over, and they are one of the things you interact with the most in Legions Imperialis. And so I'm going to use some old Infinity Gamer indie game tricks to make these a little more robust. You can do this yourself with a couple easy to purchase items. This is a 1-inch hole punch. It's a craft hole punch. I grabbed mine at Michael's, but you can get them on Amazon as well. They're like 10 or 15 bucks. And they are super easy to use to punch out these tokens. Now these tokens are actually punched at a much smaller size, which I did not like. I wanted them to actually be something I could pick up and put down a little easier. And the first thing with these punches is you need to cut these into strips because your hole punch can't get around them fine enough in order to get to them. Now, conveniently, there is a 1-inch printed circle around all of these things. So I wanted to cut these out so that I could have both the tops and bottoms be visible. And these clear 1-inch bottle cap stickers are gonna let me do that. So you just feed it into the punch, make sure you're all the way around, and you get it as centered as possible. And you can see here that fat side wasn't gonna actually fit. So that's why I had to cut these. And now I can line it up perfectly and just pop one of these suckers out. Now you will note they are punched to actually come off the sheet. Doesn't matter though, because the entire bottom of these stickers are adhesive. And by having these put on the backs, they can sit face down nice and flat and be super duper easy to pick up. And not just are they sort of like difficult to pick up if they're in their, just kind of flat cardstock original form, you're also going to put a lot of wear and tear in them. They're literally required to play the entire game with. And you can see here, you got to be careful when you hold these because they will go off center and you'll get them punched wrong. And so now I'm just going to go through, I'm going to punch a whole bunch of these. I do actually kind of on purpose show you what it looks like when you punch them off center as well. But I'm just going to sort of speed this up and get through this whole set. All right, so now with everything all punched out, I'm gonna go grab my first set that you actually saw me record all those first Legions Imperialis videos with. This is just a little dollar store organizer. It's like a craft and bead organizer that I filled up with dice and the tokens. And you can really see like the size difference, and just like it's just not as easy to pick these things up or flip them over. So having those sort of beveled edges on the bottle cap stickers when they are face up lets you pick them up super easy and lets you have something to grab onto when they are face down. So I'm just going to empty this thing out, put all these in a bag, because I might use them for something else later, or just give them to somebody who's going to play Legions that doesn't have the token set, like if someone comes along and decides they're going to buy the rulebook if it comes out later. And fit all these in here and organize them by type. There's of course 5 different types of tokens, and there's 5 slots in here along with the space for the dice. The most commonly used ones I'll probably put in the big ones, and then the least commonly used ones in the other. So I was thinking I'll put probably Advance and Overwatch in the left and right ones, and then Charge and March in the center ones. So with the basic order tokens done, it was time to do something with these 32mm I discovered after a little bit of exploration, grabbing different bases and like holding them up against them. Objective markers. So just like for the order markers, I wanted them to be easier to pick up, last longer, and have sort of like just a nicer finish and look to them than just displaying cardstock. So I grabbed some 32mm MDF discs. I think I got these from Green Stuff World because they're rollers. They're like Green Stuff rollers are designed to like make Space Marine bases and stuff. And some Elmer's glue. This is just clear Elmer's glue. And my second set of these, because I had the first one that you already saw. And just threw down some of this Elmer's glue, grabbed an old paintbrush, and started adhering both sides. Now, because I wanted to be able to flip over, just in case in the future, these needed to work the way they're printed, like with, I don't know what the A, B, C, D, E, F objectives are, so they're flippable. What I did was I put one set face up and one set face down on either sides of these discs. So just painting on some of this Elmer's glue. And I like this. You can get this anywhere, this clear Elmer's glue. You can get this at the dollar store, which I think is probably where I got it. I use it for basing. I use it for all kinds of stuff because it just always dries clear. It's a nice crystal clear one. And see, I want both sides to be able to show. So one of these will be face up and one of these will be face down. And just to keep myself organized so I didn't double them down, I decided to just do it all alphabetically. So I grabbed the A and then I flipped it over, put some more glue on the other side, and then went for the A markers on the others. So let's just punch at these other ones that I'd already cut up. And then thrown it down. And then to let these dry, what I did was I put them sort of like at an angle. I leaned them up against the side of that little token thing right there so that air could get all around it. And then I'll just speed this thing up so you can watch me do the rest. So the last little bit here is just, you don't have to do this part, but I want to. You might notice that all around these drawing markers, there is a like white ring, and that's where the thing is punched. I just grab a big fat Sharpie, and I'm gonna go around the edges of all these bases. And what that's gonna allow me to do is just have like a nicer finish. It'll be nice and matte black when it's all dry, and make those lines disappear. This is an old cardstock terrain trick. You just black out the edges where the actual like paper is showing on the printing, and you get a nice like just finished quality to your markers. And they look more done. And I like the fat Sharpie because it's gonna let me just do it quicker. And so there you go. In the time it took me to get to the... Oh, let's see. Ah, yes, the Legends of the Mary Celeste. What's out there at sea, Gabriel Byrne. Everybody's happy still. Ghost ship scene. So I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, we find ourselves ready to get this thing sort of like final packed. I give these guys one last check just to like make sure that I can feel around the edges that there isn't like an overhang on the tokens on the 32s, and they're perfectly flush, so I'm pretty happy with them. And then I just need to pack them away, figure out a spot to put them. I think what ends up happening, yeah, I'm just gonna, they didn't quite fit in here, so I'm gonna put 3 on each side in the larger stowage areas, and that lets me get everything into this nice compact little container just by moving some stuff and flattening it over. 1, 2, 3, or ABC, I guess in this case, and then DEF, and then she gets cranked down, and we're all done. A nice, handy, compact Dyson token set, ready to rock and roll for Legions Imperialis. You can see my one off-cut one too, where you want to make sure you hold stuff down and center it. So I lost a single charge token, but I'm not mad at that. I think all told, this was what? Probably, with the sped up time and stuff like that, probably about half an hour of like actual like work time for me to get this token set looking, I don't know, like just way nicer, but also it's just gonna last longer. Like I want to play this game into the future, and so I want my stuff to stay nice, and that means that, you know, if you got stuff that you want to make nicer, just make it nice. So I'll make a big list in the video description of all the stuff I used here. It's some pretty simple household stuff, just those bottle cap stickers and a whole bunch of things you might not already have at home. And if you're looking to make your tokens better, then hope this helped. Have a great day, everybody.